Beep, 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 beep. Hello, subscribe, warrior teacher, usual. Right, okay, let's go. James S. has been out again. Hello, James. He's written an article in Spiked about Channel 4. I watched a film the other night with a mate of mine called Mona Lisa. Right, now some of you will remember this. Those of you who are old enough. But if you haven't seen it, I urge you to watch it. It's a superb piece of filmmaking. It's incredibly funny in places. Stars the marvellous Bob Hoskins, who was, of course, in Roger Rabbit and The Long Good Friday, and marvellous Kathy Tyson. And it's about essentially prostitution. And there's a darkness to it like you wouldn't believe. It's deeply disturbing, but it takes us back to the 1980s when we remember that unfettered perversion seemed to be everywhere, with the advent of video and online and pornography and all the usual stuff, because porn drives everything technologically. Just does. Humans, eh? But it's worth watching. It's a deeply disturbing watch, but it's also incredibly funny. And I was reminded of that when I read this yesterday, or the day before, whenever I read it, by James S's, talking about how low Channel 4 will go. Right? It reminds me of the story of the old judge in the court, and the bloke comes up in court, and the judge says, "What are you here for?" And the bloke says, I've been having sex with sheep. And the judge goes, "For goodness sake, man, how low can you go?" To which the person in the dock responds, "Well, I once blew a ferret." I don't know why I think that's funny, but I do. That's me. Go. Popular culture. Now treats extreme gender ideology as incontestable fact. Now, this is a programme on Channel 4. For those of you that don't know, Channel 4 is like a niche nutter channel in Britain, right? Okay? Nobody watches it. Except for the loons, right? So, Channel 4. When it was set up, it was a really good channel. This is for those in America and Canada and everywhere else. It used to show some really challenging stuff. Right? We used to have films on, they put a red triangle in the corner, dangerous adult films. So it was meant to push the barriers, push the boundaries, and give a kind of programming that didn't exist. And it did it very well for the first 10 years of its life, or maybe 20 years. And now it's just gone totally mad, and it's like a freak show. Like freak show, come and see the little lady or the big man or the bearded woman or the bloke with, no legs and 4 ears. It's like that. Right? It's now a freak show. So here we go. This is the latest from the Freak Show by James S. It's just great. It's a freak show. Just reminds me of American Horror Story. Jessica Lange singing Life on Mars with her wooden legs on. I love all this sick stuff. For my sins, says James, I recently tasked myself with sitting through some of Channel 4's most dire programming. Well, that's most of it. In order to investigate the ways in which gender ideology is being foisted on viewers, right? The unsuspected viewing public. A few weeks ago, I wrote a piece about naked education. He did. I think I've got a funny feeling I did a bit about that. Which had adults stripped naked in front of children. The idea of that show, such as it is to teach young people that the way to accept yourself is to fundamentally change yourself through irreversible surgery. This week I delved into Naked Attraction. That both of these shows feature the same presenter, Anna Richardson, should have been a red flag from the outset. Naked Attraction, which has been running for 7 years, features singletons choosing I can't believe this is real. Right, choosing a prospective partner based solely on his or her naked body, which was revealed bit by bit. Can you imagine if they had to do it with people over 70? It's all sort of moulded into one by then, isn't it? Your breasts are by your knees, your bollocks are by your ankles. This is real. It's actually on television. It is the very definition of gratuitous sexual objectification. Tellingly, Richardson often describes the contestants as bods rather than people. Let's take a look at the bods. This reality show has been known to push gender ideology before and has platformed some of the most bizarre human beings this country has to offer. It's a freak show. In a recent episode, a non-binary student who calls himself 6 revealed that his darkest fantasy is to one day have sex with an alien. Is it me, or didn't Lambert try that in the film Alien and it didn't work out well? It raped her, do you remember? With its long pointy thing. Right? It wants to have sex with an alien. What? Right? That's his darkest fantasy. Like, not going to happen, kid. He's probably out in a field somewhere drawing crop circles going, "Come and probe me." What a weirdo. When you start calling people out, you're a weirdo, right? I don't dislike you. You're just a weirdo, right? Live with your weirdness. However, the first episode of Series 11, which was broadcast 3 weeks ago, has truly taken the biscuit. In it, we meet 54-year-old Sarah Taylor, who is in search of a partner. The catch is that Sarah was previously on the show 4 years ago. It's like they've got a freak farm. They go, that one. Not as Sarah, but as David. Oh, gosh, yes. For you see, Taylor is a man who has transitioned. No longer is he a straight male. He is now a pansexual female. What a wanker. Right, so, from the beginning of the episode, we are informed that David has died. That's what they said, he's died. In reference to him taking on his new identity, it soon becomes clear that Taylor has a desire to grab attention. He was told that he wants to get naked on TV and show everyone. Do it. Get naked on television. I'm not watching. Most people go, you know. We are told that he wants to get it. He also tells us that he didn't realise how good tits are. Can you see an AGP? Oh, AGPs are us. He also says, I didn't realise how good tits are. He's there giving it all the... Not any dirty old bastard. How good tits are. And that David made no noise when it came to having an orgasm, but now he's a screamer. Pornified. He's pornified, sissified. He thinks women, right, play with their own tits and are screamers. God's sake. I wouldn't know. But that's what he thinks, right? The episode goes to great lengths to convince us that Taylor really has become a woman. I have all the right bits in all the right places. No, you don't, Taylor. You don't have any of the bits in the right places at all. You don't even have any of the bits in the right places for a man anymore. You utter mental case. I have all the right bits in the right places, he says, stressing that this is his real body. Is it? It's your real body, is it? Is it? Contestants are offered the chance to take the new model for a test drive. This is anything but natural. That this is anything but natural becomes painfully clear when Taylor describes the 2 hours he must spend every day using an oversized dildo to stretch out his new vagina. It's an AGP, isn't it? Gotta be. Do you reckon? In one of the crassest statements I've ever heard, had the misfortune of hearing, Taylor tells us that I specified that I wanted a penny slot machine, but it came out more like the Grand Canyon. He wanted a penny slot machine so he could be penetrated by other men. Is that what it was? I don't know. What do you want a penny slot machine for? Do you think at some point it was going to pay out? Takes more than that to get my cherries up. That's from Molly Sutton, by the way. Not me. That was a good joke. The audience is expected to believe that this is possible for a man to become a woman. The show does not add a voice of balance, reason or challenge. At one point, Richardson tells Taylor, there are so many firsts for you as a woman. I love that. Who is this Richardson idiot? When he was on the show 4 years ago as David, Taylor ended up getting rejected by the women he took on a date. But as Sarah, he had much more success. Fresh from his date in the new episode, Taylor announces to the audience that thanks to a silicone strap-on, I'm pleased to say I'm not a virgin anymore. These people are sick. What a time to be alive. James goes on to say gender dysphoria is a mental health condition. I don't agree with him. I think it's just distress. We need to stop calling it that. Doesn't mean anything. I do not know enough about Taylor to pass further comment on his situation. Yeah, I'm going to take a few guesses. All I can say is that anyone trying to claim that this is all perfectly normal should have a long, hard look at themselves. James Esses works with a great group of people at Thoughtful Therapists, and they're pushing the boundaries in terms of the thinking around this. Again, you know as well as I don't think it exists, gender dysphoria. It's not gender dysphoria, it's just distress, and it is a symptom of a much greater cause. This kind of television programming, fine, do it, I don't care. But it to be done and then left hanging in the ether for people who don't understand it is insane. Let's get a bloke on board, dressed as a woman, who's cut off his genitals and had a hole dug, which he calls the Grand Canyon, which he sticks a piece of plastic up every day to stop the wound from closing over, and then have him say that he's more of a woman than women are. Channel 4 can fuck off. See you later.